You are going to get sleepy. Hello, welcome to the Tall Weaver. I'm Andrew, and today we are going to be responding to an Instagram request. Someone posted a comment on this post here asking for some information about one of the shuttles that I posted, and I just figured I might as well just run through all of the shuttles that I have, ranking them from least to most favorite. I do have special secret favorites, and don't tell the others. But just to, before I get this kicked off, this is not buying advice. This is my personal experience with my personal looms and the kind of stuff that I weave. So I'll go through what I think they're good for, what they're not good for, the current price point as of March 2024, and just some thoughts on each of them. So and then before I really get into it, one thing that I do want to tell everyone is I use a double-ended electric bobbin winder from Leclerc, which I think makes a huge difference in terms of how your bobbins actually perform, or your quills or your perns or whatever it is that you're weaving your weft off of. So make sure that you're cautious with what you are like comparing when you're looking at different ways. Like a hand wind is very different than an electric wind. With or without tensioner is very different as well. So be cautious. And if you're not seeing the exact same effects as someone else, maybe try something different, either in your setup or the shuttle. So without further ado, we'll be going down the list from worst all the way to the best in my collection for most things. To start off, stick shuttles. This one is by Shocked. I have some from Kromsky. I have some from Ashford. They'll basically do the same thing. You wind it straight on there. It's great for slim sheds. It's great for small amounts of weft. You know, you can get them from anywhere from $10 up to like $40, $50, depending on how big you want them to be. But they are kind of slow, and you do not get the benefits of like a self-unwinding weft that you get with the other kinds of shuttles that we're going to be looking at here in a second. So that's why it's at the bottom of the list. It's just not my preferred for when I'm weaving on a floor loom. For rigid hull looms, great. Or for tapestry looms also, quite good. Okay, so getting into the boat shuttles. The first one was something I just bought because it was cute, because it was fun, and I can't actually find a good use for it. It is the Leclerc boat shuttle. This one is plastic, and it doesn't take the standard shocked bobbins. It would probably take quills. They make their own bobbins, but I'm not buying another full suite of bobbins. And you can see in the video here that it goes through okay, but it kind of has a little bit of a drag on it. And if you look really closely here, you can actually see that there's like issues with the plastic, like it was molded wrong or something. And that's just how it came. So, you know, for $22, I understand, fine, might not be the world's best thing, but it just doesn't excite me. I don't want to use it, even though it is really pretty shade of blue. And that's 100% the reason I bought it. So that would be number 11. So, and number 10, I got when I was looking through a bunch of different shuttles early last year, trying to figure out what I liked, what I didn't. After trying a friend's couple of different shuttles that she owns, I kind of wanted to expand my horizons from what I'd been using, and I came across this, I think it's a Glamocra Damask shuttle. The closest looking thing is like $120 on Glamocra's website right now. I don't think that's what this is. I got it used off of Facebook Marketplace, and it takes like monster wide bobbins or quills, and it's got this little nut to like make sure that stuff doesn't get snagged inside of it. But it's just not remarkable, and it just doesn't take very, like it's loud. The like little washer kind of bounces around a lot. I don't know. I've not found it to be particularly joyful when using, and it's not even that thin. Like you would think like a Damask shuttle would be like super thin, but it's not. So I don't know what this is. I have two of them. I've used them for a couple projects. So that's number 10. Moving on to number 9, I've got the boat shuttle from Glamocra. They make like a ton of different lengths of this and open and closed bottom, but specifically this is the one without wheels. Open or closed, I'm not sure makes a huge difference. There weren't any open bottom ones in stock when I was shopping, But I mean, it's small. It takes a very small quill. It does not like bobbins. It does not like the shocked bobbins in that. And you can see it's got like a nice little metal cutout for the weft to feed out smoothly. It just can't hold very much. And like the shape of it, you would think with this nice little curve would make it a little bit easier to throw and catch, but it just kind of feels a little weird in my monster hands. So, and I've tried a couple of different sizes, but they all kind of feel roughly the same. So they get the job done. I actually use them a lot. They're very inexpensive. This one was $32, and it can take a standard yarn selection. So it's fine, nothing wrong with it, but I think there's better options for me personally. Coming in at number 8 is the same shuttle, but with wheels. It's got wheels. It goes super cool. And this is really great for going across really wide warps or really textured warps. Like if you're going to get drag, you won't get drag with this. Like it'll just slide right on by. It's great. So similar caveats. It takes quills. It doesn't like bobbins. It is kind of loud because the sound reverberates up through the bottom of the opening here. So you know, make sure you've got your noise canceling headphones. Yeah, the Glamukra boat shuttle with bobbin or boat shuttle with wheels is number 8. Okay, moving on to number 7, we have the 15-inch open bottom shocked boat shuttle. So this one is in cherry. I don't think they make it in cherry anymore. I got it just by chance, and I love it. It's actually about 10, I think, or 15% lighter than their maple ones, and it's great for throwing across wider warps because it has a little bit more oomph to it, and it also takes a little bit more weft on the bobbin because it takes a 6-inch bobbin. So you can load it up with what I usually do is like when I'm making an acrylic baby blanket, you can really load up a fair amount and you can weave for a couple of inches. I know supposedly it's not that big of a difference between 4 and 6-inch bobbins, but I feel like mentally to me it is. So I do like it. But the only thing that I think it would struggle with is if there's loose tension or really narrow warps, because it is kind of a tall boy. Because you're usually going to be using it with a wider warp, it will get a little bit more drag on it. So sometimes I'll use the Glamukra with wheels, sometimes I'll use this. So that's kind of why they're right next to each other. So moving on to number 6, this one is a special edition, but it is the 11-inch slim open bottom boat shuttle. I got this used. It was a limited edition shocked shuttle. I don't know when it was made. I came with another one that's currently in use on another project. It's like a painted wood. But yeah, I love the thin shuttles because they go through kind of the tail end of a warp when you don't have a huge shed still opening. Or if you want to, you can probably do it on a rigid huddle with a small enough spacing between the warp threads. I've tried it. You get a little bit of shuttle diving. But no, I like the 11-inch. It's good for that. And you know, if you have a few around, you can totally sub it out if you have a ton of colors in a specific warp repeat and you don't want to cut off your weft and switch bobbins all the time. So yes, these are, oh, and I totally forgot, the 15-inch is $62 right now. The 11-inch is $51 right now, but not in this style. It's only the plain maple that they have. So number 5 on my list is a bit of a weird one, so bear with me on this, but it is the double bobbin open bottom boat shuttle. That's a mouthful from Shocked. It's currently $68. It takes 2 4-inch bobbins, or just one, but it's great for doubling weft. So if you're doing overshot or any kind of supplementary weft technique, it's great for that. It's also great for just mixing remnants of thinner yarns. Like I've mixed 8/2 and 10/2 cotton together along with 5/2 warp and gotten some really cool color blending effects. So that's actually why I really like it. If you're doubling up, you might as well just wind on 2 strands at a time onto a single bobbin. But this lets you do a lot of cool stuff with different color effects. So yes, that is why it landed the number 5 spot for me. Number 4 is going to be controversial. This is the venerable, the ubiquitous 11-inch open bottom boat shuttle by Shocked. This one is maple. I have one in cherry and I love it. That one's also a little bit lighter for the same size. But no, I have like I think 10 of these laying around for different projects. I love them. They're good workhorses. They work great. The bobbins hold a decent amount. The only thing that I dislike is sometimes there is a little bit of extra drag on the selvage when you're throwing stuff really fast, and I tend to throw really fast. So that would be the only area where I have a little bit of caution with using these. And they're kind of loud. Like, it does bounce around a lot. If you use a quill made out of paper, or I found that smoothie straws also work, it's much quieter, but then you can't load up as much stuff onto it. So it's a trade-off there as well. So there's a couple of drawbacks, but it is a good workhorse, which is why it landed at number 4. And just in case I didn't say it, these are available $51, brand new still. Number 3, we've got another Shocked product, the end feed shuttle. This is the smaller of the two, and it takes perns rather than quills. But I do love it. I love how it feels in the hand. It gets great selvages. You can adjust how much tension using a small Allen key in these little holes right here. You can adjust how high or low the shaft right here sits just by adjusting in here with the same Allen key. So you can really fine tune it to exactly what you're using. I love it when I'm weaving with finer weft, especially like if I'm doing something with like overshot where I have a tabby pick and then a pattern pick. This is great for the tabby pick. You don't have to worry about that drawing in or anything. Anything with a lot of like a halo or fuzz around it is probably going to gum this up real fast, so I wouldn't use that for this. And these are currently listed at $136, which is pricey, but you really only need 1 or 2 and you're really set. So I own 2 of them and I love them both, and they get used both quite a bit. So for number 2, we've got the Leclerc end feed boat shuttle, breaking the Shocked run on this list. This is 157 new. I got this one used. There's a little bit of like a build quality issue on mine, but it's used, so I can't really speak to that. If it comes brand new from the factory, I just love the additional weight of it, and the shape of it does feel really good. So at the very bottom of the boat shuttle listing, we've got the Leclerc boat shuttle, but then this is at the very top for the end feed. But no, it just feels great. It's really good for getting some good speed across your warp, and it just kind of like fits great in my hand. So again, this also takes perns. You're supposed to use the like Leclerc perns. I use the same perns that I use for my Shocked, and there's no problems. So your mileage may vary. Don't take this as gospel. But yeah, this is number 2. The same caveats do apply in terms of the kind of weft to use. Like, don't use something with a lot of halo. Don't use textured stuff. It's going to gum up the system. Now we come to the very end, the extra special favorite, the Flying Dutchman. I tried this and wasn't super duper sold on it right away because it is so different. It's so big. It's got a very different profile than most of the others. It's got this weird like bendy bit. It's got this weird archy bit. I was like, what the heck? But you know, I love all of Louette's other products. So the Louette Flying Dutchman, I bought my own and gave it a go. Oh my God. It handles anything I want to throw at it. It can handle worsted weight acrylic or knitting yarn. It can handle super, super fine, like 10-2, 16-2 cotton without a problem. The stuff just feeds off smoothly because of this. And I think it actually flexes a little bit so it doesn't create any additional drag. Selvages are fantastic with this. Like, I love it. Even when you have an uneven shed, like, you know, with a table loom or something, like a really deep point twill where you've got that like wave in it, it navigates that without a problem. It's magic. So yeah, I did buy my first one out of pocket, and then I got the second one as a kind of apology gift when I had some logistics issues with my spring loom. And then I bought 2 more just to have one each for my new Jane loom because I just love them so much and they work so well with it. So yes, this prefers quills, but it will take anything. It'll take paper quills, plastic straw quills. It'll take Shocked bobbins. It won't do perns, obviously, but it's great. The only thing I will say is it does need a little bit of a deeper shed. I sometimes have trouble getting it through my David if I have high tension. If you have a decent sized shed, like any of the Louette ones, or even the Jane has a pretty decent shed, no problems. So situationally, that's like the only real drawback. But yeah, that's my #1 special favorite. So that's it. My 12 shuttles that I happen to own and the ranking in which I find them. So comment below what your favorite shuttle is. If you think that I'm like super duper wrong, by all means, let me know. And yeah, like, subscribe. I'll have another big video coming soon, but this is just a quick little fun one that I wanted to get out to answer that question from Instagram. So thanks. Have a great whatever time of day it is, everyone, and I will see you later.